Hello guys, welcome to YJ Digital World. On today's video, I'll be putting you through on how to create simple party flyer design using Photoshop. I remain your host Agu Joseph. In doing this, I'll be making use of Photoshop 2020. Please, if you are new to this channel, do well to subscribe to this channel, turn on the post notification bell to get notification whenever I upload new content, and do well to give this video a like. Thank you guys. So let's get into this video. First of all, after opening my Photoshop application, all I have to do is to create a workspace in which this project will be carried out. So the first thing I have to do is to click on create on my Photoshop 2020 here on my screen. I'll click on this create. After clicking on create new, the new document dialog box comes up, the new document interface comes up. Here I'll be calling this, the name of this project is called Drip Night. Drip Night. So I'll be making use of inches as my unit of measurements, 4 inches of height, 4 inches of width. My resolution remains 300. Likewise, my color mode, RGB color mode. So after that, I'll click on create. So after clicking on create, here we have a white screen on my Photoshop. So in the first step I'll be taking in this project is to create my background. So first of all, I have to create a solid background. I'll have to click on my adjustment panel here, slide over to solid color, and this is the color code I'll be using for this project. Here's the hex code for the color I'm using. So I'll click on OK. So the next step I'll be taking is to bring in my resource images that I'll be using for this project. The first among them is the light. So I have to drag it into my Photoshop interface here. Okay, hold Alt to scale from the middle. Control minus on your keyboard to zoom out. Okay, after that you click the check. So next thing I'll be doing here is to change my blending mode to luminous. Likewise, come to my filter here and slide over to blur, select Gaussian blur. After selecting Gaussian blur, I'll be setting my radius to about 12.5. I need to blur more of the light as well as that of the background. After doing that, I'll check. So after doing this, all I have to do is to bring in the next image, which is this. I'll drag it into my Photoshop workspace, position it here, hold Alt, scale from the middle, and position this towards somewhere here. Somewhere around here is okay for this. So I'll double click to check. After doing that, I'll also max. First of all, I'll change the blending mode to luminous as well. Add my max. After selecting the max, I need to brush out some part of this image. For me to do this, all I have to do is to pick my brush tool, make sure that my foreground color is set on black. Likewise, make sure that my max layer is selected, opacity on 100, flow on 100. So I'll just come over here and brush. So in case you brushed it too much and you want to regain most of those parts which I've brushed out, all you have to do is to come here again, switch over. So white enables you to undo those parts back. So if I brush this way, I'm undoing it. So if I select black, make sure my mask layer is selected, it enables me to brush over a white mask layer. My mask layer was white, so black enables me to brush out. So the next I'll be doing here is to select layer, come over to filter, slide over to blur, Gaussian blur. I'll blur this to about, let me see, think this should be okay. For this, I'll click on OK. So after doing this, move to the next resource here, drag it into my Photoshop as well, position it somewhere here, hold Alt, left click and scale up. Okay, after doing this, I'll change my blending mode to soft light, I believe. Okay, I'll also max it, pick my brush, opacity on 100, flow on 100, make sure my foreground color is set on black because I want to brush on the black max layer. So all I have to do is to come over here, brush out those parts of this project that I don't need. Okay, so I'll Ctrl T, I'll make sure I select this layer, Ctrl T to transform, hold Alt, scale up more, I'll check up. So after doing that, let me also make a little adjustment to this as well. Ctrl T on this so that I can scale up very much more into the image. So after doing this, next I'll be doing to this project is to bring in the other image I'll be using for this background. Okay, I don't have. Okay, the next thing I'll be doing here is to create a noise effect. For me to create a customized for me to create this noise, I'll have to create a customized layer. For me to do this, I have to hold the Alt on my keyboard, click on my create new layer panel here, come over here, call this noise, slide over here, change the blending mode to soft light, select 50% of gray, that is fill with soft light neutral color, 50% gray. After doing that, I check, I'll right click, come over here, convert to smart object, come over to filter, slide over to noise and add noise a little. I don't need it to be too strong on this project. I think this is okay. After doing this, all I have to do is to select the whole layers. I'll click on the first one, hold shift on my keyboard, click on the last one and click on this group icon here on my screen. You just click on it, it will group the whole layer into one group. So I'll call this BG, which stands for my background. So let me do this way, stand for my background. So the next thing I'll be doing here is to add a little bit of contrast to my background so that whenever I place text it can be more visible. For me to do this, I'll be adding curve, using curve to create this effect. Okay, can you see? So there is no how I can easily place text on this kind of background that the information won't pop out. So that is the use of adding of contrast to make the information stand out from other elements in the design. So after doing this, I'll bring in the image of my model in this project. I'll drag it into my Photoshop space here. Okay, I think somewhere here is good enough. Okay, somewhere here is good enough for this. Okay, so after doing this, I have to make a duplicate. Ctrl J to make a duplicate, or you left click and drag to your create new document, new layer here to make a new duplicate. So next I'll come to my filter here, order high pass. So in this high pass here, I'm trying to give this image a little bit of texture. Okay, so let me see, this is too much. Let me think this is okay. 2.3 is okay for me. Come over here to my blending mode and switch it to linear light. This is before and this is after. You can now see the difference. Okay, after that I'll select the two layers together, hold shift, click on the next one, right click and convert to smart object. So I'm trying to merge the two layers to become one single layer. So after doing this, next I'll be adding a little bit of a curve here, thereby adding more of shadows. Let me click marks. I need this effect to be only on the model, not on the whole project. So add more of shadows to this project and a little bit of highlight to this project. Okay, after doing this, minimize, come over here, select my hues, click max it as well. Okay, after doing that, I'll come over here, scale this a little bit down. I want to reduce the saturation a little bit. Come to here, select your red, add a little bit of red tones. Okay, and come over here, select my yellow, add a little bit of yellow tones to this image. Okay, now you're now seeing some of the effect on this project. Okay, so after that, next I will be adding selective color to this project. So I'll come over here, I've selected my yellow, add a little bit of yellow. So from my last video I explained how the colors work. On the left hand side here you have the CMYK color format, while at the left hand side you have the RGB. The opposite of your cyan here stands, the opposite of your cyan is red, the opposite of your magenta is green, and the opposite of your yellow is blue. So whenever I slide, uh, uh, whenever I increase my cyan, that is, I'm adding more of cyan. Whenever I reduce my cyan, I'm adding more of red to the project. So it depends on what you intend to achieve in your project. So I also clip mask this effect, okay, to this. So after doing this, I'll have to control 0 to fit to screen. After fitting to screen, I have to check on my image to see, okay, all is well here. Okay, can see that my curve is too much, so I'll come here, lighten it up a little. Okay, can see. Okay, that's good for this. So the next thing I'll be doing here is to select the whole layers here and I'll group them together, call this model. After doing this, I'll come over to my notepad here. I'll start placing in my text. So I'll start placing in my text. First of all, in order for me to place my text and to give my design project a well organized structure, I have to set a guide to enable me place my text perfectly in this project. So I have to come to view here on the menu, select my layout, select, okay, it's already set for me. These are the measurements I use in setting my guide. So I'll just click on OK. So click here with your text tool, paste in the text. I'll check, come over here, change the color to white to a more visible color, change the font to Montserrat. That's the font I'll be using for this project. Increase your leading. These are called the leading. It enables you to increase space between text vertically. These are called tracking, enables you to increase space horizontally. So I'll come here, change this to bold, come over here and change this to regular. think let me see. Okay, medium. Sorry, let me change this to regular. Click on OK. Click on this, bring it to the same uh, line or the same paragraph. Just come here, left click and position this text around somewhere here. Okay, that's for that. You can also come here, Ctrl T, reduce the size of this text. Okay, after reducing size, I check. I'll come here to increase. Sorry, I'll come over here to increase the tracking. You can see that's the spacing between text horizontally. That's for that. So the next thing, I'll bring in the theme of the event, which is called Drip Night. I'll copy it here, left click, paste it in, check. The font I'll be using here is called the black, let me see, black range V. That's the name of the font. Ctrl T, transform, scale it up, scale it up, scale it up. Okay, after doing that, I'll check. Also come here, turn off, reduce my tracking back to 0. Okay, after doing that, let me see. Okay, I've in a way made more all my text caps by making them more of capital letters. So come over here again in my character panel. In case you don't have your character panel here where I have mine, you can always come to your window here to enable it. Here is your character panel. If you don't have your property panel, you can also come to here and enable your property panel. So for this, I'll come here, I will reduce the leading. Okay, I'll also come here and increase the size of my text. Okay, after doing that, I'll come here, manually adjust the position of this. After doing that, come back to my notepad here, select my text, pick my text tool, left click and paste it in, check, change my font again in my character panel to Montserrat. Okay, after doing that, I'll increase my leading a little bit. Okay, after doing that, I'll change this to medium, and I'll change this to bold. Okay, I can also come and increase the size of this text. So let me see. I think this is okay. Come over here and position somewhere here. Ctrl T, scale down a little. I'll check. After doing that, I'll come over here again, pick my next set of text, copy, come over here, hold Alt. You see my mouse pointer changes from this to this. Whenever I hold Alt, it changes to this. I'll just left click and drag. So pick my text tool, select this text, paste in this text here, come over here, change my text type to bold, as well as increase the size of the text. After doing that, I'll Ctrl A to highlight the whole text. Okay, increase my leading between the two set of text here. Come over here again, select the door open text and change this size a little bit. I think it's okay this way. I'll just come over here and increase the leading a little bit. Okay, after doing that, I'll position it a little bit this way. Okay, the next, come back to my notepad, copy this set of text, come back over here, duplicate this holding your Alt, to left click, pick your text tool. Okay, and I'll paste in this set of text here, come over here, and hit the enter key, check, reduce the leading, come over here as well, change this to bold, increase the size of the text, I'll check, come here, reduce the the leading a little bit, okay, come over here, think that's okay, let me see, 6.5, think that's okay, come over here, select my move to Ctrl T to transform, left click and drag to scale up a little, trying to increase the size of this text, okay, that's good for this. So next thing I'll be doing here is to bring in the location of this event where it will be taking place. I'll copy it in, come to Photoshop here, left click, paste here, I'll check, okay, increase the size of the text, reduce the leadings, come over here, change the font to Montserrat. Also, I'll come over here, change this font to bold. Also I can choose to increase the size of the text, okay, and this is the location of the venue where the venue is located. I'll change this to medium and we are good. Come here, increase the tracking a little bit, okay, Ctrl T, scale down a little bit and come over here and position it, okay, I'll check, pick my text too and edit this, okay, that's for this. So after doing this, I have to adjust the position of this as well as this, okay. So after doing this, next thing I'll be doing is to bring in this my last set of text here, copy it in, come back to Photoshop, pick my text tool, left click, paste it in, check, align it at the middle, okay. After doing that, increase the size of the text, okay, and I'll change this to Montserrat. That's the font I'll be using as well for this. I'll come here, change this to bold and come here to scale down the size, come over here, change this to bold, okay, I think this okay, come over here, select this, Ctrl A to select all, align horizontally to the center, Ctrl D to deselect or come to select here and click on deselect, okay, and now adjust the position of this. Also come and scale down the size of this, okay, scaling down the size of this set of text, okay. After doing that, and come here, increase the tracking a little bit, that's for that. So I need this text to be more visible in this project, so I'll come over here where I have my model image example. All I have to do is to add marks, select my gradient tool here. This is my gradient, it's already set on black and white already. Set on black and white. All I have to do is to, if we can drag this way, you can see what happens now. Some part of the model image disappears. So that's for that. That's how to go about that. So after doing this, the next thing, which should be the last thing to do on this project, is to bring in, okay, this set of images. I'll bring it to somewhere here, okay, scale down the size, come over here, okay, after scaling down, bring in the next set of image here, Okay, I'll check. Right click and convert this to smart object. Ctrl T, transform, scale down and position it somewhere here as well, side by side. So all I have to do is to select these two layers and drag them above every other layer to the top here. I'll Ctrl G to group them and call them drinks. Okay, so all I have to do is to right click and convert this to smart object. Ctrl J to make a duplicate. After duplicating it with Ctrl J, with Ctrl T to transform. Ctrl T enables me to transform. I right click on the image and select flip vertically. After doing that, I hold shift, left click and drag vertically downward. Okay, after doing that, I check. Okay, start doing that. Ctrl H to hide your guide, Ctrl H to bring back your guide. Okay, so let me zoom in so that you can see what I want to do. So at the top here we have the one flipped upside down. So all I have to do is drag it down here, add a layer mask, select my gradient tool and do this. Okay, let me make sure this is okay, is set properly. I can come here and choose to reduce the opacity a little bit. Okay, that's for that. So after doing this, the main reason why I added the shadow effect is to make the project look real, as in to make the bottle of drink look have that realistic look, as if the bottles are sitting on a particular surface, that is sitting on something rather than floating on the air. So that's for that. So the next thing I'll be doing is to add the drink IQ to this project. I'll come over here to my resource. I'll drag in the drink IQ here and place it somewhere here. Okay, that I check. Come over here, select this, select my marks. Okay, I've maxed out the other set of images. I'll drag this above, Ctrl T, sorry, right click and convert to smart object, Ctrl T, then scale down the size and place it somewhere here. Bring back my guide so that I'll be sure I'm placing it properly. Okay, select my move tool, so adjust the position, come back to this set of text and choose to increase the size. Now I think I'm good to go. Okay, and come back here, increase the lead a little bit. Okay, and I think we are good. So the last thing I'll be doing here and this is to add a little bit of shadow to this drink IQ. Okay, can you see the shadow effect? I'll reduce it to the barest minimum. I think Ctrl H to hide the guide. This was before, this is after. So ladies and gentlemen, I think we are good to go with this. So I will be adding a little bit of effect to this project. Okay, you should notice at this top part you have a light ray which I blurred out earlier in the tutorial. So I need to give it a little bit of effect on my cap here. All I have to do is to slide over to where the model image is. Okay, this is where the model image is. All I have to do is add a layer here, pick my brush tool, hold Alt and use my color picker to sample color around this side. All I have to do is scale down my size of my brush. I'll just do something of this nature. Ctrl T, scale up a little, check, come over here, change the blending mode to screen. You can see it's now popping up. Okay, showing that okay, the light ray was directly hitting the heart of the lady. So I also adjust the position of the light if I choose to. That's for that. So after this, I would like to add a little bit of what do you call it? A little bit of touch to this project. So I'll come to the last layer over here, come to my adjustment panel, select color lookup, come over here and select this, and I believe this look awesome, this look very good, this look beautiful. So guys, we have come to the end of today's tutorial. If you enjoy this video, do well to give this video a like, and if you like my content, do well to subscribe, turn on the post notification bell to get notification whenever I upload new content. Do well to share this content with your friends, and if you have any comments, you can leave your comments in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching.